Welcome back to another episode of the Align for Success podcast. This is Deborah Deras, your friend and hostess with the mostest on the podcast, where every Monday we bring you amazing guests on the topic of mindset, marketing, and manifestation. And all of the guests are mentors to me. There are people that inspire me because of their Align for Success practices. And today is a very special day because we have one of my dear friends, dear sisters, an amazing woman because today is, guess what? International Women's Day. That's right. It is International Women's Day. And we are going to be talking about authentic leadership. But before I begin, I want to let you know that today's show is being sponsored by the Ignite Your Revenue group coaching program. It is like your Netflix of mindset, marketing, and manifestation. And each and every month, you get new videos. Like, in Netflix, there's like drama, horror, comedy. Well, on Deb Bizflix, you get mindset, marketing, and manifestation. Plus, every month we meet for group coaching so that you, as an entrepreneur and as an intrapreneur, can ignite your revenue to take your sales to the next level, not from pushing and pulling, but from alignment and attraction. Because I am going to teach you processes to manifest faster and easier. If you would like to join us, we meet the third Thursday of each month, which is March 18th, the day after St. Patrick's Day. If you want more information, you could go to deborahderas.com/events and sign up. And you'll get an 11-day trial for only $11.11. Tell a friend to join us. Plus, there are so many webinars. I think I'm doing about 20 this month, and all of them are free, no cost, complimentary. So when you go to deborahderas.com/events, you can get YouTube for sales. You could get Instagram for business. You can get podcasting, speak with confidence, content calendar, etc., etc. So without further ado, thank you, sponsor. Appreciate that. Without further ado, our guest today, Veronica, she believes in living your best life with abundance and being authentic and genuine. Veronica Franco is born in Los Angeles and loves being an Angelina, right? Angels, City of Angels. Veronica is married to Mark Franco for 17 wonderful years. Oh, we see them on Facebook celebrating all their anniversaries. Cutest couple ever, let me tell you. And she is the proud mother of an amazing son, 16-year-old Mark J Franco, who gave up his gaming headphones so she could use them, but didn't need them. He's a great guy. She has worked in the title industry for the last 26 years. Wow. What did you start when you were 15? And she loves giving back to her community by donating and volunteering. She also works with her church's food bank. Let me tell you, she's always in a leadership position, whether it's in work or personal. In addition, she is also a board member with the Whittier Uptown Association. That's where Olivia is, and was a member of the BNI Top Producers for 6 years, where she also served in leadership positions. And she's being super humble with this short little bio here, because I also know that she received many awards, I think last year, for top sales, top producer, and she's so inspiring. Please welcome Veronica Franco to Align for Success podcast.
Thank you. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you for having me. What an honor to be your guest.
It is my honor to have you, and I have a song for you. This is Shaka Khan. I'm every woman. This is the theme song for when you walk in the door. Why? Because you are confident, you are positive, you are inspiring. And every single time that I've ever, because we've done a lot of events. In fact, in 2020, I was so grateful to be able to actually do an Instagram webinar series for her company. And we did a lot of vision boards for Coldwell Banker and just all the work we did together. But what I always admire about you is your leadership and how cool, calm and collected you are, and just have this natural and authentic style of leadership. And I want everyone here to be able to learn from you. So, how did you get started in your career and title and rise up the ranks to be where you are, top?
Well, it was really by accident. I've been working since I was 15 and a half. And, I did go to community college, but, I would sit in the classroom and I would look at the professor and I would say, you know, this is not for me. I want to make money. So, so it's so funny because my best friend, who was my comadre, worked at a title company and she was in customer service. And, I don't know, 20, 21. And she says, they're hiring. And so I went and interviewed, was hired in customer service. That's where I started. And one of the things I did ask was, who makes the most money in the company? And they said the sales reps. And I said, I want to be that.
Ah,
And so that's where my journey began. I would attend to customers over the phone and give them their profiles and would stay on the phone with them forever because that's just who I am. I'm just more of a people person, right? I don't think I do well behind a computer or sit in an office. I have to be out there in the mix. And so when there was an opportunity to assist one of the top sales reps, which her name is Hewan Chen, great mentor. I learned so much from her. She took me under her wing. I was her assistant. And once there was territories opened, I was able to get my own sales territory, and the rest is history. And I've been doing this for 26 years and love it. Love it.
wow. You said something that was very powerful. And I want everyone that's listening, if you're not driving, to write this down. She asked a powerful question. She says, which position makes the most money? And they said sales. And I
Yeah.
want everyone to know the quality of your questions are the quality of your life, because whatever we focus on expand when it comes to mindset. So she knew that when it came to her career, that whatever she did, that it wasn't based on, a certain degree or a certain thing. It was based on her belief system, right? And that if she put her energy, her passion, her determination into whatever it is that was her goal, that you would be successful. So quality of your life based on the quality of your questions. I love that. How you even knew to ask that question, I don't know, right? Your intuition just led you to ask that?
Yes. Yes, the other day I had a conversation with my best friend, and I just had to thank her. I'm extremely grateful to her because of her. I'm in the title industry, and she's so humble. She said, "I'm just a small fragment." She says, "You're brilliant. You knew what you wanted. You're a go-getter. You did it all." And so, I just felt that, if I'm not gonna complete college, right, I needed to be in a position where there was opportunities. And why not? Why not? Why do I have to just stay and answering phones? Why can't I be the one wearing the nice clothes, the nice shoes, and being out there and providing service? And I believe God gave me that gift to be of service. And that's exactly what I do. I provide a service so that dreams can come true.
Woo!
Entrepreneurs get to go and these realtors are able to give the keys to their clients. We're just such a big component in a real estate transaction. And so it's a blessing, and I'm super grateful, and I'm very blessed to be in this industry.
I love what you said because, a lot of the people that are listening, they want to know how to ignite their revenue. They want to take their small businesses or their professional lives to the next level. And you focused on what you wanted, and then you just made it happen. And it was just like, but the focus wasn't on transaction. The focus was on service. Key thing. She didn't say focus on the end game and it's all about the money. She said it's all about the people. It's all about the passion. It's all about the results that you get by being of service. Jesse Ramos says, I like her posture. Powerful mindset. Yeah. She sits like, she's like, you don't have to have a PhD to build wealth. You just need to have the mindset for success. In fact, I think Bill Gates and Steve Jobs both dropped out of not even college, I think high school. Or I think Steve Jobs would drop into classes he liked and then drop out, because it's not about not that education is bad, but you don't need it if you have the right mindset, right? For
Well,
success.
you know what's interesting, Deborah, is I'm all about education. I mean,
Mhm.
my son has had private education since he was in preschool. So I'm all about education. In fact, I started, a leadership course because I do want to learn. And I believe that this whole journey for the last 26 years is a school. One of my clients, Frank Williams, always says, I have a PhD, a public high school diploma
That's
from
hilarious.
from the University of Life. And, I just didn't have the resources to, go to like a prestige college. My parents never put money away, but that's not going to be my son's future, because I am working very hard so that he progresses. And I think that's the thing, is that I want him to progress and have that experience that I didn't. But this was my calling, this was my destiny, and I just love it. I'm very passionate about what I do.
Yeah, and now you have that legacy to leave to him, and you lead by example, right? You're like, look at mom. Mom's still learning. Mom's still studying at, whatever age. You can always learn and grow. I think you're my age, which is sexy J Lo age. Yeah, I think that's we're on the fine wine program together. J Lo age next year, going to Greece. Okay,
That's
so
right.
let's talk about last year, 2020. So thank God. I thank God for you for 2020. I think without you, I just want to publicly say thank you so much. Thank you
Mm.
for believing in me. Thank you for inviting me to facilitate webinars for your corporation and for other Coldwell Banker places that you've worked. I really do appreciate it. But what I really appreciate, and why I consider you a mentor, you don't even know that, is I would just love your modeling, how you would show up to meetings. And no matter what technology, we did have some technological glitches throughout. I think one time my Zoom link just completely didn't work. One
Yeah.
time my internet wouldn't get, just like things that were beyond both of our control. And 2020 and 2021 has a lot of it has been beyond our control with quarantine, with shutdowns. How do you stay positive and a great influence to your team during times of uncertainty? What advice do you have?
Well, I want to give a shout out to Rosalena Salceda. I just saw her, and she's also a big part of, this shift. So about the whole technology, the Zoom, she really mentored me and she pushed me. So love
Oh,
you, Rose.
good.
Thank you so much for helping me out, and she's opened up a lot of doors of opportunities. But so the mindset was, at first I was scared. I was like, March 13th, I was at Costco and the lines were long, and I'm like, I am not going to stand in line for toilet paper and water. I refuse. My time is too valuable. I gotta go
Exactly.
so, because I hadn't gone out to the grocery store, so that was March 13th, and that's when the world changed, right? That was our old normal. Now we have a new normal.
Right.
And so, I just left it in God's hands. I'm very spiritual.
Mhm.
And I have a morning routine. I get up at 5:45 and get my coffee and spend time with Veronica, and just have coffee with myself, and
Oh,
then
that's really nice.
yeah, have my
Love
day
it.
coffee with me, because the day gets really crazy, and so and I love me. It's my
Self
me.
love, everybody. Key to success.
And so then I go into prayer, into being grateful to God, and just manifest and pray for my loved ones. And then after that, I'll just go take a reflection walk if I don't go and drop off my son. But that's like the morning routine for me to get ready to have a positive attitude. So that's exactly what I do.
Oh, I get chills just thinking about your morning routine. Do you know almost everyone that I've ever interviewed on this show all have a similar morning routine. So it just shows, if you want to align for success, to invest in you and to spend that sacred time in the morning. Your first appointment every day can be with yourself. But what I love so much is about how you love yourself, right? You're like, I get to be with Veronica and I love her. Let's talk about that. Because even one of my mentors, Lo, said that she had to do like Louise Hay self-love affirmations after her several divorces and
Mhm.
feeling kind of low about the institution of marriage. And, she had to do all this self-talk to get her to love herself. How do we love ourselves? Because in order for us to be great, authentic leaders, we need to come from a place of overflow of love. Otherwise, we're coming from fear, right? How do
Right.
we fall in love with ourselves?
Well, don't get me wrong. Sometimes I get mad at myself for, not being disciplined enough, but I try not to be too hard on myself. Uh, I love myself because I feel that I'm at peace.
Yeah.
First of all, I'm at peace with myself. I have a beautiful life and I just enjoy, doing good things for myself. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to sound too, like, oh, wow, it's all about me, but I'm an only child. So it's kind of like, I didn't have any siblings, so I didn't know how to share, but so I don't know. I just enjoy my time, by myself. And maybe that's part because I was an only child, and
Ah.
that's maybe a pattern. But that's
But I love that because there's a sacred space when you are by yourself in the stillness, right? I don't know if you ever read the book by Eckhart Tolle called Stillness Speaks. Put it on your book club list. It's
I
very
have.
deep. It's called Stillness Speaks.
Mhm.
He also wrote A New Heaven and a New Earth, The Power of Now. He's been on Oprah Book Club. Anyway, in Stillness Speaks, and I always talk about this, that you get these divine downloads. I'm a spiritual person like you. And I think we all are, whether we're aware of it or not, right? Because when we get still, we can hear and get that guidance, right? So even if that self talk is beating you up, that loving voice of spirit, of God, will always say, but I love you anyway, right? You did your best, Veronica. I love you anyway. And then you could go back forth the next day and not beat yourself up for the day before. And that's how you're always a top producer, right? Can we talk about some of the strategies? Because you win awards and you're always like the number one. And I remember you and I, because I had facilitated a vision board with you 2020 in January, right? We did our 2020. And you and I, like we hit like 80-90% of our vision board, even in the pandemic. So what is your strategy to be able to set yourself up for that kind of success of top producer?
Well, I'll give you an example. 2020, right? Our world changed. And so I did a lot of networking. I think that's how I mean, the more people the more business you're going to get, the more you're out there. So
Say it again, slow for the people that need to hear it. The more, go ahead.
the more people the more business you're going to get. I mean,
See?
that's just how it is, right? If you're not out there, if you're home. I always made it a point, if I had an invitation, I was there. I would show up for like 30 minutes and then I had another event, but
Right.
I just love the networking. But when 2020 happened, it had to change, right? And so I had to turn to Zoom. I had never used Zoom and I was so intimidated. And I know you did a lot of events for me. So I had to shift my mindset and take advantage of technology.
Right.
So, I still grew my business throughout 2020, believe it or not. I mean, I'm getting calls, just recently with new opportunities and new clients. And I'm thinking, wow, all that I did 2020. And don't get me wrong, Deborah, I worked like 12-hour days. I would not stop. I would facilitate meetings, still educating my clients with different speakers. You're one of them. I had, Nora Guerra, Freddie Mac. I had just different professionals to gather my existing clients and also open it up to new possible clients. So, let's say I had about 4 meetings in a week. I was seen by like over 100 people.
Wow.
Leave my house.
Right. That's the best part.
So I mean, it's just, you just have to adapt to change. you can't get scared. You have to surrender, and you just have to walk with the Lord. You can't fall into this place of, oh my God, I'm going to freeze. I never froze. I was a
Right.
little scared at the beginning because my industry in 2007 did collapse, but then I thought, is that going to happen again? But on the contrary, it did not. We were so busy. But I did a lot 2020 to keep visible, to keep in touch and contact with my clients, and of course social media played a big part of my success too, because I always say, I don't care if people like or dislike my post, as long as they see me out there and I'm there, visible, relevant, that's all that matters.
And that's so, oh my God, you said so many things. We gotta get all of these down, right? So number one, not to be scared, or not to let being scared stop you.
Yes.
So the key is that when something is new, there is a natural tendency to have fear. There's a joke. The only person that likes change is a wet baby. So funny. But when it comes to new things, we're all going to get scared. The first time I went paddleboarding, I'm like, oh my God, am I going to go out to sea? I'm going to have to be rescued by the Coast Guard. It's scary to try new things. However, you have this end game, right? So you have this laser focus that when you see, this is like, I'm trying to get into your mindset. You see a finish line and you're like, no matter what bumps, what obstacles, what challenges are going to happen, I'm just going to get to the finish line. I don't care how long it takes. I don't care what people say. I don't care if they like me along the way. I am going to be as visible as possible, because hear what she said, the more people that know you and that you're out there, the more people can do business with you. I love that.
Absolutely.
So very great. So let's talk about authentic leadership. I know you're in a leadership program and you're all about taking your leadership to the next level. What is your leadership style, and how can people be an authentic leader that people respect? Because even as small business owners, as we start to grow and build a team, we need to be able to lead and influence them so we can scale our business to the next level.
Well, it's interesting because my internal staff, you know, I have a higher position, of course, but I treat everybody, like they're my family. Because
Mm,
at the end of the day, we're a team. I bring
right.
in the business and they close the deals. And, if there's a problem on a file, I I try to be very understanding and work with them and not get upset. I used to get upset in my 20s. I was a diva back then, 20 something year old making so much money. And now it's like, no, it's about building a healthy community, because Provident, that is my Provident title family. And that's exactly how I treat them. Like I'm always very grateful. For Christmas, I try to, bring them in food or just make them feel special, because they work so hard for me to be successful. How can I just not acknowledge them? So that's one of the things I think that, makes me an authentic leader, is that I really give back to the people that make me successful. I don't ever
Mm.
take them for granted, ever.
I love that. Giving back to the people that made you successful. You made me remember the Provident title prophecy.
Mhm.
So, Veronica and I did vision board. I facilitated a workshop for her live in person. Everyone did boards but me, because I was facilitating. We had like 80 people. It was such a great turnout for that event. But I had pictures on my TV that were like my virtual vision board. And I remember this picture was always showing, and it was in Beverly Hills when I used to go to parties. I used to go to a lot of events in Beverly Hills. And when I looked at the picture, it said Provident Title. And
Yeah.
that's where her offices were. It was like a prophecy that I was going to be working with you. It was like that was the company that was like my focus for 2020, and it was on my vision board subliminally programming me, magnetizing me to you. So always pay attention, because there are signs in the universe that are guiding us to the right place at the right time with the right people, to be able to use our talent, skills, and abilities to be of service, to be abundantly paid to best serve the world. That's the affirmation, remember?
I remember. And, it was just destiny that we would work together. You were a lifesaver for me 2020 because you're a big component of my success. I mean, you were a speaker. You would come and help my clients learn social media. I mean, my old handle was, I didn't even know what a handle was. I'm like, what's a handle? So that's the IG, Instagram.
Now
So
she's titled by Vero. Follow her on Instagram.
you taught me so many things to really utilize social media to its maximum capacity. I was like, I had this other name, and now it's like, now it makes sense. So I have to really thank you too, Deborah, because you did a lot of greatness for me in 2020. And of course, we're always going to be working together in the future.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. And it's the same thing when it comes to being visible on social media. Even though you didn't know exactly, what the steps were, you weren't afraid to try. And I think that's part of the secret of your success is that you're willing to put yourself out there and to be that authentic leader. So what advice do you have for those entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs that are listening that they need help dealing with difficult people, right? We have those energy vampires that surround us sometimes in our offices. And maybe now we're not working with them, but we have to deal with them still. How are you so great at being able to deal with these personalities?
Well, I'm at a point in my life where, I get to pick who I work with. Now the dynamics are different. So I'm very authentic, very genuine, and not everybody's going to want to work with me. Maybe our personalities are not meant to be, have a business professional relationship.
Right.
So I respect that. I believe that it's a dynamic because at the end of the day, we're going to be partners. They're going to bring in the business and I'm going to close it. But we all have to be mindful that there are issues that happen in a deal. But as long as, your client is able to provide you what it is that is necessary to close that transaction, because at the end of the day, we want to make sure that we make these future homeowners happy. We all have to work as a team together. So,
Right.
I've had to fire some clients because
Me too.
we're not a good fit, and that's okay. I think someone else might do better, with them, and that's fine because a door closes and 20 open. So I'm not scared of that. So that's how I work. I just surround myself by people that I know are going to be with me, and we collaborate. It's a collaboration.
I love that. That's the power of synergy, the collaboration energy. And also, I'm getting all the mindset tools from your brain. You don't focus on scarcity, you focus on abundance. So when you say no to that client that is not for you, that
Mhm.
you allow the energy and the space for the 100 that are a good aligned match for you. I had to learn that the hard way just recently in the past 3 years. And I mean, last year I turned down some very well paid work,
Mhm.
just because I knew it was not going to be worth the toxicity, right? So
Right.
it's not easy to say no, especially when people want to work with you, but if it's not in alignment, and how I know it's not in alignment is it feels heavy. How do you know when in your gut that that person's not for you? How does your gut communicate to you?
When they suck up my energy.
Uh, you're like when I'm suffocated and I can't breathe.
When I'm like, okay, oh God, but because you always say it's not a job, it's a joy.
Joy, yes.
I listen.
Oh,
And
very
so yes, I mean, I love being of service. I mean, my clients call me after business hours. They call me when I'm on vacation. They call me and I answer with joy because I
good.
love to service them, because I know at the end of the day, somebody else is, relying on them. It's like a chain of command, right?
Right.
You got the realtor, you got the bank, you got me. And so I know how important it is to answer the phone, and that's what I do. And in order to give my best, I have to be surrounded by the best, with attitude and empathy as well. But that's really how I deal with difficult situations. I don't think I have any different. I don't want to say difficult clients, because they're all amazing. I love them. They're my family. Sometimes
Mm.
I see more of them or talk to them more than my extended family.
Right. And it's because also your vibe attracts your tribe. And if you start out your morning, your day with that morning sacred time with yourself, you set the tone and you anchor your energy. And if you come not to work to do a job, but if you come to be of service for
Mhm.
your joy, there is a different energy of what you would magnetize and attract. And I noticed the biggest difference when I moved to the beach and started doing like a lot of walks. I have to stop myself because I'm injured. But like, if I don't do those walks, then I'm like more irritable and frustrated, and my tolerance level and my patience level is lower. But when you get that vitamin D, you get self care
Yes.
leads to better service, right? So I love that you say that. So, how can people stay in touch with you? They want to connect with you. Who should connect with you and why should they connect with you?
Well, if you want to work with the best title company in the industry, connect with me. If you're in the real estate business or commercial banking, you can connect with me through Instagram, and my handle is Title by Vero.
Ooh la la. I love it. Taito Bivero. So you can follow her, and you can also find, she does webinars all the time. She does events all the time. She's always seen and known and being of service, and she'd love to connect with you. So I want to say how grateful I am for you to be here. I was so excited when I invited you, and I realized it was International Women's Day, and
Yes,
how awesome to celebrate an amazing woman who's a trailblazer, who's a leader, who's an influencer, who is an innovator, who is a positive force to be reckoned with, that everyone that's listening can learn and grow from by modeling how she aligns for success. So, thank you so much for being here. And thank you all for tuning in. We are here each and every week for the Align for Success podcast on a manifestation Monday fun day. Why Sunday be fun day? Monday is a fun day. I made Monday. I used to hate Mondays until I did the podcast. Now I'm like, oh my God, I cannot wait. Monday is the best day of the week. Why? Because I'm with you. And if you love this podcast, share it. We want you to help us to have everyone on the planet aligned. What would the world like if people would all be coming from a place of joy, gratitude, service, instead of fear, lack, scarcity, worry, and doubt? We believe here in the power of synergy, like Veronica said, all about collaboration. I always say, with the power of synergy, anything is possible. And this podcast is for you. So help me share it, spread the word so that we can allow our world to be in a place of alignment. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have any recommendations for guests, you can make sure you put it in the comments below. Make sure you're subscribing to the YouTube channel. Look forward to seeing you in the webinars that we have here coming up in March. It's deborahderas.com/events. And let's give Veronica a big round of applause. Everybody send your love to her. Send
oh,
your blessings to her.
I feel
Even more success, 10 times more the success this year than ever before. Thank you for being of service here, and we will see you all next week. Ciao for now.
thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Have a beautiful rest of your day.